Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Monday. The big job today is going to be hooking up the corn planter, testing it, seeing what all we got to fix on it. It's kind of what we do every year. Basically, the day we're ready to start planting corn, we'll hook it up and hope for the best. It is what it is, honestly. I mean, I can't even get it inside our shop if I wanted to work on it in the winter. And in the winter, we have no idea if we're going to plant a single acre of corn. As the days keep going by, we're getting more and more optimistic about the amount of corn we're going to plant. But as of right now, it's looking like, I think, what were we talking about? Like 600-700 acres, so about a third of normal. Which, with our snowpack and forecast and storage water, it kind of makes sense. We got enough water to plant some, but not enough to plant it all. But before I go mess with that, check it out. New sprinklers up and running. Wanted to come through and check on everything. Got a couple different sprinklers running, but that's one of the new ones. Fired them up Saturday night. Yeah. Going strong. And then the other thing we got going over here. Sorry, excuse me. We set the bridges temporarily. So before we cement them in, we wanted to make sure that they were going to work. Make sure they were in the right place. We put the rebar there so that way they don't move. We did. The guys in the shop built 6 out of the 8. The reason they didn't build all 8 is because the 2 in the middle were calling for, was it 35 foot and 36 foot to cross that ditch. Need a 35-foot bridge and a 36-foot. Oh, it all just has to do with the angles. But what we wound up doing is just filling the ditch with dirt the other day and walking it across to sea. Well, as you can see, from that flag to the post here, that is not 35 foot. It's like 22. So we can build that one. Then you come up here, and why the backhoe is parked here where it could get hit by the sprinkler potentially, I don't know, but you know, whatever. This one up here is gonna be a wee bit tricky. It's not 36 foot, but it's still like 28 foot. That's a big bridge. So there's the flag over there, flag there. And the reason the flag is that far back is because look at how V'd out the ditch is. That's all fill dirt right there. So that could easily erode away. So we had the flag set on solid ground. And then there's 3 more bridges back that way. All the concrete structures we tore out need a haul off. Oh, this project's almost done. Here's the other pivot and the oats. So the oats have all emerged from what I showed you guys a week ago. You can row it there behind the sprinkler real easy. Cameron about guessed it right. About 1 pass too many on the end gun, it looks like. God, it's nice when they're working. I just wish they all worked that good all the time. Then I'd like end guns a lot more than I do. Now that farm is one of the last ones to get water because it's closer to the end of the ditch. We got 1 more farm that'll get water, or 2 farms that'll get water today, and that'll finish off this shot of water. It'll reset back up at the start of the canal. More than likely it'll be 10 to 14 days before the water gets back, which puts us at the second half of May. And that's when you got to start asking the questions of, what do we do now? Wheat in this area is, I've seen a little bit starting to head out. It's really going to start heading out over the next couple of weeks. Silage, typically we start probably around the 25th of May, which means that wheat's going to be headed out. You got to make the call. Is it worth putting more water on it to try and get a little more yield out of it? Or do you plant your corn and water up your corn? That's kind of the situation we're getting into. That's why we're getting the corn planter ready, because I think some farms we're going to start planting. Some farms will probably keep irrigating. Where we planted all the spring crops, we'll keep irrigating. But remember, that was only a third of our wheat, maybe half. So we got quite a bit of it that is getting close. Just another one of those reasons to have a headache on a Monday. Because no matter what, you're never going to be right. You're always going to second guess yourself. That's what farmers do. That's why we're head cases. Oh, another Monday of headaches. So when I woke up today, I was thinking there was 3 plans. One, get the corn planter hooked up, go through it, possibly get started planting. I don't think that was going to happen, but I had heard that was a plan. Second plan I had heard was get chemicals set up for our little sprayers, the one we pull behind our side-by-side, and then the little 3-pointer, because it's starting to turn green. I don't know if you can see out there, there's kind of a green tint to this field I'm working. Kochia is coming. It's easy to kill when it's this tall. So I thought that was plan number 2. And then the third option was to take this tractor, the 245, and go mark a field that we're potentially going to plant hay in. All 3 of those plans got thrown out the window. As you can see, bouncing around out here, I am pulling the Colts packer. This farm is one I was speaking of a little bit earlier. It gets water tomorrow. We decided we're going to plant hay in this field. Where the sprinkler is now, kind of over there to the northeast, is hay currently. It's a crap stand. Like a lot of our hay fields, the droughts just crushed them. So, now all of a sudden we got to get this thing Colts back, land plane twice, and then plant it before the water gets here tomorrow. Then you add on top of all that chaos, Kloss dealer came by this morning. He's got a pretty good deal. We've been openly talking about maybe going to 3 machines, buying kind of an older one or a used one with a little more hours on it, and just running 3. And that third machine potentially being Kloss, so that way we can give it a real try. Yeah, he came by with a pretty good deal on a chopper and 3 heads. So now that's got my brain spinning, because we've got other things chopper-wise going on in the mix. And then Big Tuna mentioned the words 4-wheel drive, so that's got my brain spinning down a different rabbit hole. It's just a lot of moving parts, a lot of thinking out loud, and I have a hard time prioritizing all the different potentials in my head. So I need a nap and a beer, then I'll be better. But it's 11 o'clock, so it's a little ways off yet. And the confusing Monday continues. So it's late by the time I got to go to lunch, because I had to call Kayla to come pick me up. I was told I needed to go help with the construction project over breaking out concrete. I'm headed over there after lunch, past all the guys. Well, that part's already done. Then they were getting ready to build more, and then now there's 3 guys, so they don't need my help. Confusing. I'm pretty sure Blanca is running my tractor now, so I'm gonna go order chemical, because it is now a full week into May and I have yet to order any chemical whatsoever. This is gonna be expensive. It's kind of been a weird bouncing around afternoon. I went to try and order chemical and they weren't there, so I went back to the shop to help Bart, because Blanca took my job. She got the field finished, by the way. Help Bart bring this over here. Now he's just making sure it's set right, because honestly this is one I don't even know how to set the old Holcomb land plane. So he's just making sure it's kind of set right, tracking right, before we leave it here to go start on the corn planting tractor. The afternoon got squirrely, but I've spent basically all afternoon in here with Bart trying to figure out a conundrum. So this is the new 270, replaced the 245 as a planter tractor. Our planter has lift assist, and on it, this hydraulic here, this T, instead of just going to the other side of the 3-point, comes to a fitting right here for the lift assist. And the case dealer added a T down here and went straight across for this guy. So our conundrum is we got to add a T and a fitting for the lift assist somewhere, so that way the 3-point and lift assist work together. And it's not easy on this one, because steel line, very short hose, and a very short hose. So that's our new problem we've run into all of a sudden. But that problem got sidelined because all of a sudden we just got a phone call and my chopper is now back in the shop. Huh. We've already gone through it. It's field ready, ready to go, ready for another season. And we suddenly pulled it back in the shop at the drop of a hat. Weird. Why would we do that?